with your Aquarius new moon astrology reading. And raise your hand if you could use just a little bit of energy clearing right now. Our world is just on fire, it seems, and the energy is coming in so strong with some solar storms and some Schumann resonance really taking off right now. And this Aquarius new moon happening on January 29th will usher in that lunar New Year's of the snake Earth Mother in the 9-star key astrology. And I did a whole series of astrology readings for that 9-star key Lunar New Year's as we say goodbye to the wood dragon, 3-tree, fast-growing tree star, and we move into possibly a calmer earth energy of that, but it is a yang earth energy of that to Earth Mother. So this new moon in Aquarius, we're really feeling some energy shifts big time and a call for revolution as we just had that Sun, Pluto, Cazimi at 1 degree of Aquarius. We are still soaking in the energy of that Sun conjunct Pluto that was so powerful on Trump's inauguration day. Wow, Sun-Pluto conjunction. This is about a time of extreme transformations, extreme changes, and a whole new era unleashed on us in one day. And we're really delving into this unknown future as the snake sheds its skin of the old world and a new world is really birthing forth. We've been in this death, transformation, rebirth cycle for so long. I've been talking about this, and this is really a time with that Sun, Pluto, Cazimi energy, a time to conjure up some profound hidden forces to help you with the outcomes and really influence your forward momentum. And you may be feeling a little paranoid about the state of the world, but it may just be the end of the world as we know it, because we are moving into that age of Aquarius, and Pluto in Aquarius is really ushering that in right now. And Pluto is all about power and transformation as we shift in power. The Sabian symbol warned us about a thunderstorm. That's Pluto, 1 degree, where Pluto has been stationed for quite some time. Pluto went retrograde and then Pluto came back to that 1 degree of Aquarius. It's that thunderstorm of nature's challenges where all human institutions and achievements will be washed away. And unfortunately, we really are seeing achievements and houses and everything just being washed away with that fire in LA. And that Sabian symbol, you can look this up, you know, the Sabian symbol, 1 degree of Pluto says, dust you were and dust you must become. It's a crumbling of an old world era right before our eyes as we're entering Pluto and Aquarius, and that Sun came to light up Pluto and make it even more intense, and Pluto's already very intense. So we are asked to rise like the phoenix from the ashes in a soul evolution amidst crisis and chaos this new moon. And this is how we're coming into this new Lunar New Year's, just the phoenix rising with a strong Pluto, Sun Cazimi. And this is all part of that Kali Yoga that we've really been in since 2020. If you know about the Kali Yoga, I won't delve too deeply into Ayurvedic astrology, but the Kali Yoga is about crisis and chaos and this rebirthing something new. And we are kind of wrapping up this Kali Yoga. We're finishing it up. And so we are moving into the rebirth. Things are going to get better. And if you're energetically sensitive, you may feel that even amidst all this crazy, there is this really divine, powerful, beautiful energy coming in that is just pure love and joy. And there's this hope of something even better is coming, even amidst some crazy news. I try not to watch the news. I'm just not going to watch the news right now because I'm sensing something greater coming, and the news just drags me down. And I've never been really religious. I was raised Catholic, but I prefer to find my higher power, divine healing out in nature. But when you have a real crisis at hand, like the wildfires in LA, you suddenly want to pray to God. This first occurred to me in 1989 when I was really close, like less than a mile away from the epicenter of the biggest earthquake California had in years, 1989, that big Loma Prieta earthquake. And I had never experienced, I grew up with earthquakes. I grew up in California. And so earthquakes were not a big deal, but that was a big one. That was very jarring earthquake, and it just never let up. It went on and on for a few minutes. And that's when I really was calling in prayers and asking favors from God. And so when you suddenly have a crisis, it's amazing how even if you don't think you're super spiritual, you will get this spiritual, call to a higher power source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. I'm wearing my little Santa Teresa. This is my namesake because my name is Teresa. And so I have this Saint Teresa who I also call on. And she is somebody who was very sick as a child, and she healed herself with roses. And so I'm wearing my roses today I'm just really feeling the call to Santa Teresa. And she is such an inspiration to me because I was very sick as a child. And I think that's how I became a healer, is because I had to heal myself even as a child. No one could figure out what was wrong with me. I got horrible migraines. I had body aches. I was sick all the time, nauseous, everything. And my mom took me to so many doctors. And as a child, they were calling me a hypochondriac, and I felt like I was dying. I don't feel like I got really good medical care from the Western world, probably why I lean more holistic now. But anyways, this new moon is going to be trine Jupiter in Gemini. And Jupiter is all about that spiritual faith, that call to something higher, that tapping into a belief in something higher that can save us all. I think we really need this kind of soul protection right now. And it is a time when you can call in favors from a higher divine power, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, your saints. I think I'm polytheist. I'm like anybody who wants to help Ganesh, Shiva, Lakshmi, Kuan Yin. I'll let anybody help my situation, Kubera. So this new moon is really a time when you can pray for miracles. If you need a miracle, I need a miracle every day. If you need a miracle right now, this is a new moon for setting that intention. As we start this Lunar New Year, you can really set an intention. Jupiter is all about our spiritual faith in a higher power to help us. And Gemini is all about communication and asking that higher power to help us, and that ask, believe, receive, making this the perfect new moon going into Lunar New Year's to say a prayer. And let me know your prayer in the comments, and I will send distance Reiki to your prayers. I just taught a distance Reiki level 2 class where we get the Reiki symbols and then we use it to send distance Reiki to different situations for healing and miracles. We were really calling in miracles this time. And it feels a lot like praying. And when you have a circle of 7 or 8 students, you know, you get that power of 8. And like I think it says in the Bible, when one or more are gathered in name, that really reminds me of being in a Reiki circle and just sending these distance Reiki intentions that feel a lot like Reiki prayers. And so if you have a prayer or you need a miracle or you just have a new moon intention, drop it in the comments and I will send distance Reiki with my master Reiki symbols, invoking your prayer, your miracle, your ask in this golden light energy to help you manifest it. I love doing this. It's really fun. And we also have imbolc at this time, which is also known as St. Brigid's Day, and that is St. Bridget is really a goddess of divine miracles in and of herself. She shows us that anything is possible when you ask, believe, and receive. I know you've probably heard me say this. I'm such a believer in this. And I love the story of St. Bridget and her magic cloak. I think I've talked about this before. She wore this magic cloak and she asked the king for land to help her build her monastery in Ireland. And the king refused her, but she did not give up. And she went back and gathered with her wise women, very much like that Reiki circle. They all sat in a circle and they talked about, how can we get this land? How can we get the king to agree? It's like, if at first you fail, try again. Never give up until you get the answer that you're looking for, right? That's really what St. Bridget teaches me. So she gathered her wise women with her and they did some magic. And just like a distance Reiki circle. And when she returned to see the king to ask again, this time she had her 4 wise women with her, and she was wearing her magical cloak. And she pleaded with the king once more, please, I just need enough land as big as my cloak so that I can build a monastery for healing and to help people with their spiritual faith, and it will be so much good for other people on this world, you know. And the king said, just enough land that covers your cloak? Are you kidding me? That's nothing. All right, okay, fine, I'll do it. And so the king agreed, and in that moment, St. Bridget had her 4 wise women take each corner of her cloak that she was wearing, and they began to walk in the different 4 directions. So they went east, south, west, and north. They all went off into these 4 directions, which are so powerful when you're manifesting. And they walked for acres. And the king could not believe what he was seeing. This was a true divine miracle that this cloak could expand into absolute acreage. Maybe it was just some really fancy sewing. I don't know, but they did it. And the king was so amazed by her magical cloak and these incredible 4 wise women that he knew she must be blessed by God. And so he kept his promise and he gave her acres of land, the exact land that she had in mind that she really wanted. She got this lake land, and it was with water nearby. It's just beautiful in Kildare, Ireland. And he even became her patron, giving her tons of money to build the monastery, and he would come and have spiritual refuge at this monastery. He was like her biggest fan after watching her with her magical cloak. So never give up on your dreams. You just need to find a different way to make it happen if it's not working out for you right now. And if you're needing faith in miracles on this new moon, you can create a Brigid's cross to really honor that St. Brigid's Day happening on February 1st. And you can place it in your home to just bless your year. And I might do this year. It's just this beautiful cross you make out of natural reeds that you gather. And I will put a link to St. Brigidine's website that teaches you how to make this all-natural St. Brigid's cross that you can use as a reminder that miracles are possible, anything is possible, and where there's a will, there is a way. That is the new moon Aquarius message. If you know Aquarius, they will just keep trying. They're very persistent people, and so you can really call on St. Bridget if you need help with the persistence to make something happen. If you've gotten a no, you've just got to ask a different way and figure it out. And I just ordered my beautiful prayer flags from the Dharmashop, and I do this every year. I hang prayer flags for the Lunar New Year's. That is so uplifting. These are Buddhist. The Dharmashop makes these Buddhist prayer flags made by Buddhist nuns who just invoke such good energy, and you can hang them. I recommend this year, every year is a little different, but this year you want to hang your prayer flags in the southeast corner. The southeast corner of your home is going to be the luckiest corner. Every year the luck moves around the Bagua. So this year, I study feng shui too, so this year in the Bagua, it's the southeast corner. And when you hang these prayer flags, they really help you manifest your wishes and have your prayers answered, because you hang them in a way so that when the wind carries, the wind will blow through the prayer flags, and you sort of invoke your wishes and prayers into the prayer flags as you're hanging them by setting your Lunar New Year's intentions. And then every time the wind blows through them, the wind horse carries those prayers, those hopes, those miracle manifesting moments that you really want to call something in. You can just invoke it into your prayer flag as you're hanging it. And if you order those right now, I'll put the link to Dharmashop. If you're interested in ordering, I don't get any like affiliate money or anything. I just do this out of my pure heart because I love Dharmashop and their beautiful flags. And if you order right now, you might have them in time for Lunar New Year's. But even if you miss out on hanging them on Lunar New Year's, don't worry, you can hang these flags any time of year. They actually have a list on the website for auspicious dates and not auspicious dates. So there's a few dates you don't want to hang them, but I will link the Dharmashop in the descriptions. And hanging these prayer flags just makes you feel so intentional about what it is you're calling in for the new year. And as the wind carries them, and we've been hanging prayer flags in my family for over 20 years now, and it's just a wonderful reminder of your wishes and your intentions and what you're calling in every time you see them. And I love to see the wind dancing in my flags and know that something good is on its way to me, whatever it is I'm calling in. And I know so many of my clients and friends and Reiki students have been feeling kind of depressed about the state of our world since the Trump is started in. But as an energy healer, I'm not that worried. I don't know. I see some silver linings in all of it, and I recommend just trying to get into that eagle position where you see things from farther away and looking at the whole picture, because I think that there is a divine purpose for everything. And I know a couple of years ago I had this whole drama with an old landlord, but you know, that drama with that old landlord convinced me to buy a house, and buying a house has given me equity, and buying a house has been so good for me financially. So sometimes even these kind of villains in our story can just provoke something even better to show up for you. I don't know what it is. I don't have the answers, but I'm just trying to be like the eagle way up in the tree looking down on the whole situation, not just freaking out about what is happening, but that maybe all of this is going to lead to something even better that we just don't know what it is just yet. And I'm really just sensing so much light and love pouring onto our planet, even as the news is painting a pretty bleak picture. So like I say, just turn off the news and get out in nature, and you will feel a different feeling. I'm feeling a really high vibrational energy that's just pouring into our planet. I would love to know if anyone else is feeling that too. And tap into the real energy and what's really going on energetically. And there's something shifting. There's this new rebirth energy coming in with this age of Aquarius. There is an enlightenment vibe happening. I think we are going to gain enlightenment from it all. It's coming in so strong. So just be careful where you're placing your focus right now. High vibes only. Surround yourself with those energetically high vibrational friends and family, and try to just stay in that upward spiral like we talk about with that energy spiral, where you want to be on an upward spiral. Don't let the news take you into a downward spiral. Keep focusing on love and joy, and just tapping into what makes you happy, what brings you love, what brings you joy. And so many of our light workers are really gathering together to make a point of sending healing energy every day at 2 p.m. for our world. And in these meditations that are happening, this is a global meditation that is happening at 2 p.m. So many light workers, Reiki masters, and healers that I know are doing this. You just stop everything at 2 o'clock. Don't worry about it all being online with the same time. We're just, each and every one of us, taking 15 minutes to send Reiki to the situation, to send healing. If you're not a healer, don't feel like you can't do this. You can just sit in a quiet mindfulness and just envision something you love, something that brings you joy, something that brings you happiness, and that will raise the energetic vibration too. If you could take 15 minutes out of your day every day. If you can't do it at 2 o'clock, I'm sure you could do it at any time. It doesn't really matter the time. Wherever you live, just sit in meditation or even go out in nature for a walk and just try to be in your most uplifted state of being for 15 minutes and see if you can tap into these healing energies. I've been doing it. My ears have been getting so hot, and I just feel this energy rising on our planet, and I just know that everybody is sending out these good vibrations, and you can tap into it. And I've made a point of meditating and sending distance Reiki to the situation with an intention of raising that vibration of love. Sometimes I'll go out for a walk out in nature. Sometimes I'm just resting on my infrared biomat with my cat, playing my singing bowl. I love to play my Heart Sutra singing bowl. And it just feels so good to tap into this healing frequency every day at 2 p.m. I invite you to try that. And Aquarius is all about the community, and I love that this healing community is sort of being birthed organically through social media. And I have North Node in Aquarius in my 6th house of wellness, health and wellness. And so my calling in life is to really create these healing communities. And I know when we do the distance Reiki Zooms and everybody comes together in a Zoom, that's amazing. And my Reiki tribe is definitely a healing community when I teach Reiki classes and women gather and we send distance Reiki. And I also published this Bend health guide in Bend, Oregon that I'm working on right now, and it just features so many community health providers and healers. And then this spring we're going to do a health fair. I'm collaborating with this incredible community space to do a health fair either in April or May, and hopefully even more healthy happy hours that we can have in this new community space that is happening. So if you live in Central Oregon, follow my meetup. I will link to my meetup for the Bend Health Guide down below. And there's just lots of amazing healing gatherings. I'm sure wherever you live, there's healing gatherings, and go and connect with as many like-minded people as you can for some deep healing. This is a time to gather, to heal yourself, to heal the world. And I feel that the healers and the light workers are really going to become even more powerful and abundant. I think the money is going to shift hands. We're going to see healers really bringing in more money this year. It's interesting with this Aquarius healing energy ruled by Uranus, the planet of spontaneous healing. What if our world could have a kind of spontaneous healing this year? And as we're entering this age of Aquarius, this brand new way of being that is really opening our minds to new possibilities as this new way forward unfolds. And we're having these quantum shifts and breakthroughs. I know so many people who are having huge life change. Let me know in the comments if you're having some big changes already at the beginning of this year. And I always think of, with Uranus, I always think about channeling aliens and ancestors. And my Aquarius friends, they just seem so tapped into these higher beings. And Aquarius, being ruled by Uranus, really is tapped in and tied in with aliens and ancestors. So this is a time when you can tap into these divine messages and really channel divine messages from higher beings, higher powers, from spirit. So ask your guides and guardians, where should you go? What should you be doing? Inviting in this higher mind to guide you going forward in 2025. And I have been doing so many 9-star key astrology readings for the new year with Reiki and an energy clearing from my sail, and the divine messages are really coming through for people that are so otherworldly now. They're just, it's a different year. I can tell the vibe is so different in 2025. Lots of totem animals, lots of spirit guides, lots of strange messages are showing up in my visions to give to my clients. And I always use a journal, and I do like free writing. I'll just do all kinds of scribbles, and then I have to try to be like, what does all the scribbles mean? It's so wild this year especially, and so much of my readings, they don't even come from me. It comes, I channel spirit, I channel these divine messages. Sometimes past animals show up, sometimes grandmothers show up, sometimes babies show up. I mean, it's always funny when a client will say, you told me da 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 da, and it was that exact thing. It was exactly as you told me, down to the exact words you said. And then they'll say the words, and I'm like, I don't even remember saying it. And I think it's because it was never me. I never said it. It was something else. I just look at them blankly like, oh yeah, I don't really remember saying that word at all, because it's spirit talking through me when I do these 9-star key reads. And I was just sitting with my journal, scribbling it all down. That's just how I do it. So if you want to try to tap in to this higher wisdom and see if you can intuitively connect to spirit and get these divine messages, I invite you to just get out a journal and a pen and ask questions. Whatever, if you have something that you just don't know about, there's so much unknown in this 2025 year. Just write a question and then just start writing and see what shows up. I tell you, spirit will talk through your pen. It is really, I started free writing about 20 years ago, and at first I didn't really believe in it, and then suddenly messages started coming through. So it's really magical, and see if you can tap into some of this higher wisdom that is really floating in the ethers, more so this year, more so this Aquarius new moon than any other time. Get out your journal and write it. And I sell some journals on Amazon. I will link down below. I have this magical Ganesh Journal, and Ganesh helps you to overcome obstacles And some of my clients said that this journal has really helped them. They write their obstacles in it, and then they give it up to Ganesh, and then the problems go away. So I'm really excited to hear. I do like send Reiki to the Ganesh when we send them out there, and Ganesh will help you to overcome obstacles, and it makes a really good scribble journal too. And we do have some good news on this new moon, because Uranus and Jupiter are stationing direct this January, and we can finally move forward on our big plans and finally make some money. Jupiter is about making money and expand our awareness. Uranus wants us to expand our awareness. And Uranus will enter Gemini later this summer, where Uranus will meet up with Jupiter again. And Uranus will be bringing Trump this crazy Uranus return that doesn't happen until you're in your 80s. So most of us, we won't have to worry about the Uranus return for a long time. But I'll be curious to see what kind of shocking surprises will hit Trump later this summer. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be interesting. And then Venus. Oh, Venus. Have you seen Venus? Have you been watching all these planets align? You know, the planetary alignment got so much attention this year. But we have this kind of planetary alignment, it seems like every early February and spring, just as we come into that Shiva moon. This is nothing new, but I think that people just really want something, some kind of planetary good news this year, because the planetary alignment is so trending on social media, but this happens every year. And Venus and Saturn just conjunct. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a second. And of course, Mars has been so bright. Mars is so close to the Earth, and Mars and the Moon have been close together, and Jupiter and Mercury and Neptune, we were able to see them all in the night sky. I get up in the morning, early morning, and see these all the time, and after sunset, and it's so nice in the winter when you don't have to stay up so late or get up so early. It's all available to you. But yeah, get a star app and just start following these planets. It's not just right now that they align on and off all year long. And Venus in Pisces, it's been shining so bright as she's in her full evening star power. Venus in Pisces is in a harmonious sextile to Uranus in Taurus just before this new moon. I think it's January 26th. And this is an excellent time for a surprising new love affair, but also just a romantic, exciting time to rekindle your relationship in surprising ways. Maybe this will make for an exciting Valentine's Day. Even though this is going to be exact on January 26th, we'll still be soaking in the energy of this harmonious sextile between Venus and Uranus for really all of February. And why not do something totally unexpected to surprise the love of your life this Valentine's Day? Sneak out for a getaway if you can. This favors travel, it favors parties, it favors eating good food and drinking. Try not to do any of it to excess. Try not to overspend for Valentine's Day, because that can happen with Venus sextile Uranus. But I'm doing some wonderful Valentine's Day relationship charts right now, full of fun surprises and soulmate discoveries. I can't believe the things that we're finding that are so mystical, magical right now. And if you want to get a Valentine's Day relationship astrology chart on sale through Valentine's Day, order soon, because I am getting kind of swamped and kind of booking out with these readings. So I want to be able to complete your reading by Valentine's Day so you can gift it as a full, complete reading. It's like a blink away. So the link for the Valentine's Day relationship chart sale is in the description. I'm going to put all these things in the description. And then Venus will conjunct that North Node moving into Pisces. Whew, what a big deal. And this Venus conjunct the North Node may bring an end to some relationships, or just releasing worn out relationships, worn out friendships, or just releasing worn out things. If there's anything like, you know, the magic of tidying up, if it doesn't spark joy, if you don't love it, let it go. Because Pisces is the 12th house. It's about letting go of things that are not serving you. You may even lose something to make way for something even better to show up, or lose an old friend to gain a new friend. And there will be new love ushering in with this Venus conjunct North Node. And it can really be about meeting your twin flame, or just having that deep soulmate connection. With Venus just sprinkling her love vibes on the Pisces North Node. I think she's trying to get ready for the powerful spring eclipses we're going to have. Ooh, I'm already delving into that Pisces North Node eclipse season. That Pisces North Node eclipse is going to be pretty close to my moon, so I'm paying attention. And pay attention right now, this whole year, to where Pisces and Virgo show up for you. Because if you know, leave it in the comments and I'll let you know what I think it means. My Pisces Virgo friends are going to be feeling this Venus Pisces North Node conjunction. It's a heart awakening. It's a realization that you don't need to do work you don't love. I'm going to let go of that dress I don't love. I never wear it. I'm going to let go of that relationship. It doesn't serve my heart. That kind of thing, letting go, decluttering, getting rid of anything that doesn't fill your heart with joy, so that you can make room for even better things to show up. And if you have Pisces North Node, this year is going to be your North Node return. I love North Node return astrology. It's my favorite charts to do, really, because this is your spiritual boot camp time, where Spirit's going to make you change your life. So get ready to be ready if you are a Pisces North Node. If you know your North Node, if it's Pisces, it's going to be a big year for you. And Mercury will conjunct Pluto, just like the sun just conjunct Pluto, right at that 1 degree. Mercury conjuncts Pluto this new moon. It's a time to transform your thoughts, transform your communications, transform your inner limiting beliefs, transform your subconscious mind, do some hypnosis, clean up the stories you've been telling yourself so you can manifest and really change your life in 2025. Get into that higher energetic vibration. Listen to some of our sound healings. I'm still blown away by the stories I've heard from some of my clients and friends, listening to that wealth DNA activation and just having these absolute profound shifts financially. And I've had some real financial miracles show up for me too, and I listen to it all the time. And this new moon with this Mercury conjunct Pluto is a perfect time for setting powerful Lunar New Year intentions. So give yourself time and space to call in all that you want to create this year. I always like to follow all the very superstitious things of the Lunar New Year's, like get your house all clean, stock your fridge with lots of food. You're not supposed to take out the garbage or do laundry on Lunar New Year's. There's a whole laundry list of things to do and not to do on Lunar New Year's, but this Mercury conjunct Pluto really wants you to think about what you're doing on this new moon that is the Lunar New Year's. So give yourself, more than anything though, give yourself time and space to create some powerful intentions. And remember, if you drop your new moon intention, your new lunar year intention in the comments, I'm going to spend the whole day. I took the day off for the Lunar New Year, and I'm just going to spend the whole day doing Reiki all day long, because I think you should do something you really love on this Lunar New Year day, so that maybe the whole year you'll be doing something you love. And I just want to read the Sabian symbol I'm going to read 3 Sabian symbols. I'm going to read the Sabian symbol for the 9 degrees of Aquarius. That is this new moon. And then the 10th degree, where we're going, And I also want to read the Sabian symbol for that powerful Venus conjunct Saturn we just had. That was so, I don't know if I just felt it because it was trining my stellium of planets, but we're still soaking in it, folks. That Venus conjunct Saturn is huge, and we're still feeling the ripples of it. But first I'm going to do the Sabian symbol of 9 degrees of Aquarius, where this new moon, this lunar new year begins, and it is a flag scene turning into an eagle. Whew. That is so American, isn't it? The flag turning into the eagle. And our country has the eagle as our symbol, but we're also talking about getting into that eagle eye, that looking up from above and looking at everything in a different way. So I love that. And this is a dynamic incorporation of new social values in individuals who exemplify the spiritual potential and greatest significance of these values. There is a revitalization of the powerful eagle symbol, its embodiment in a living reality, in a person able to fly in consciousness to the highest spiritual realm. And the archetype is given living substance and wings. Gosh, it kind of reminds me of Jimmy Carter and like the flag at half-mast turning into an eagle as Jimmy Carter ascends to this higher realm. I don't know. The archetype is given substance and wings, and the image has become a new power to see. This archetype, to perceive a new way forward with one's mind, is not enough. A true seer must become the doer. There must be something done. The impersonal is dynamized and brought into focus. We have here an acting out of the vision. And one silver lining of having Trump as president is that people seem to want to get involved in politics all of a sudden. Not just watching as spectators, but I've seen so many people who are like saying they're going to run for Congress or doing all these things. People are suddenly wanting to do something to change the system. And I've been following Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC. She is so inspiring. If you're feeling upset about the state of our world, follow her. And she gives this very, she's somebody who is doing something, right? She's really, even though things can seem bleak, she is making things happen in a positive way. So that is so interesting. So the Sabian symbol is a flag turning into an eagle. And then what are we walking into? What are we going to, because it's a late 9 degrees. And so let's look at Aquarius 10 degrees. And that is a man who had for a time become the embodiment of popular idealism, is made to realize that as a person, he is not this ideal. Is that not just where we are with Trump? Oh my gosh. Some people really believed he was someone else. I personally didn't, but I mean, I don't know if any of you voted for Trump or you really had high hopes that he was going to do positive things and help the working class. There's a lot of people who really believed he would do good things. And let's just read that Sabian symbol one more time because it's got to be talking about him. A man who had for a time become the embodiment of a popular idea is made to realize that this person is not this idea. Who you thought that person was, he's not that idea. So the need to deal with human beings as people rather than as screens upon which one projects one's dreams and ideas. And here we have a relationship between a mental spiritual vision and the reality, between persons and the idea they appear to incarnate, between the great lover image and one's need for love, a love's presence stimulated, And the star who appears on the movie screen is not the actual person. The star's popularity begins to fade away, but the person remains. This is so Trump. And what has the episode of popularity done to this person? This is the person versus archetype. This can mean a critical need for self re-evaluation after projection. And in the 9-star key, it's funny, Trump is the 9 fire star, which is known as the lover star. So the fact that they talked about the great lover image with the Sabian symbol, I really feel like this is about Trump. He makes people love him somehow. And I don't understand it. I'm not one of them. But now we're having some disillusionment. It's like somebody who fell in love with somebody and now they're disillusioned because that person isn't who they thought they were. We've all been there. And this is happening for a lot of people who voted for Trump. And they thought he wouldn't do what he's doing. And I love Maya Angelou's quote. You can use this for your dating life. This really helped me when I was dating. She said, people tell you exactly who they are. You're just not listening. You are just not listening. He has shown us exactly who he is, but a lot of people were not listening. So we're still under that influence, like I said, of Venus conjunct Saturn, and it can really bring some of us an existential crisis. I spoke about this much more in depth in my Cancer full moon reading. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch that. But I didn't read the Sabian symbol for the Venus Saturn, so I want to read that now because it was so powerful. I was like, oh, I forgot to read the Sabian symbol. Venus conjunct Saturn, the Sabian symbol for Pisces at 16 degrees. In the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow state of inspiration. Whew, I love that. Time to just go within, get into that Mercury-Pluto conjunction, that Venus-Saturn conjunction that's still sending out ripples. And in the quiet of his study, a creative individual experiences a flow of inspiration. The keynote here is a reliance upon one's inner source of inspiration or guidance. In this ritual of cyclic existence, we have a process to perpetuate a creative impulse for self-actualization. Self-actualization. I studied this in psychology. Self-actualization. All we can do is focus on ourselves, heal ourselves. Focus on our own energy, try to get our energy rising, go into your study, take some quiet time, get mindful, heal the world. The source is above and beyond, but also all around the individual as he creates. The inspiration is given a form which is conditioned by a cultural, social, and religious background of the particular person. In a sense, every genius merely records an answer to the needs of his time, and the hands that write or play an instrument or mold something, some material, are his own, but the flow of inspiration has arisen in a collective mind between man and spirit together. Whew. Have you ever just been in that flow state where you're writing or maybe you're playing the piano and you're like, whoa, I'm not doing this alone. This is a new moon for just channeling divine spirit, doing something so creative and letting spirit flow through you and pass through you. And just channel that spirit and see what shows up, what kind of creative poems you can write, what kind of music, what kind of just insights you get from this flow state that is so beautiful. And this creative process requires that time and space for inner quiet, solitude, and having faith. And I've just been craving more downtime myself to be creative in the midst of all the crazy. How about you? I think a lot of us are feeling like, I just want to go, I just want to introvert in and get into a flow state. And I think we will see a lot of art and music. We always do when we have chaos in our world and these kinds of bad politicians or whatever is going on. It is this creative uprising of artists and music. We've had some of the best music coming out of horrible times of war and negativity. So this flow of creativity and inspiration, that is calling us right now to self-actualize. It just might hold the medicine for these times. We can hope. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.